This is Movies, a podcast by the act of cinema, and with me today, he is a virgin still. It's Hans.
Hey, yeah, camera has a built-in microphone, but you can't turn it off manually. Sorry,
This has been a cursed run of episodes where this red mic has just been floating above Hans's head. Nobody could see it except for me, I guess, and you, and
well,
everyone, because
yeah.
it's really spoiling the episodes here. It's so
Hey,
unprofessional.
if you're smarter than ChatGPT, do you know how to disable this? Leave it in the comments, because I've been struggling for like 2 weeks trying to figure it out.
We've been banking secret episodes for late in summertime, and it has not let up. We had on prestige guests, and the microphone joined us for these episodes. This is really something you can only see at patreon.com/LowRes. And you're in the video tier, the $5 tier, as we like to call it. You can see that. For people who are listening right now on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, this is meaningless
Yep.
conversation.
I gotta go back though, because I don't remember if this appeared as soon as I switched
It
computers.
did. It
It
did.
did.
Yep.
Oh, so it is a fucking issue with the webcam then. This piece of shit.
Yeah. It's all
All
right,
right.
though. It's okay. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know, you could
Speaking of
always just you
virgins,
could decorate your wall around it and try to make it blend in a little bit.
yeah, I just got very cheap uh like things to put on the wall. Like I have a bunch of stuff here on this desk, but I have my little Frankenstein bust here. And then I was playing a horror game at night and the thing fell off and it scared the fuck out of me because it's heavy.
hmm
It's like a heavy like hardwood piece, right? So it just fell on the ground and I just haven't put anything up since.
It looks
But
like
it will be decorated, yeah.
there's a wall mounted head in the movie The Haunting by Jean de Bont, produced by Steven Spielberg, of this character Hugh Crane, and that reminds me of it because it comes alive later on and then decapitates Owen Wilson. We should talk about that movie instead.
I haven't seen that one. Oh, The Haunting, yeah. Well, fuck, it's been a while. Isn't the Mike Flanagan
No,
TV show based on
nope,
that, Hale House?
nope. I'm so sick of talking about Mike Flanagan. He hasn't even come up with anything recently, I don't think. There's no need to, until he drops that surely terrible Exorcist sequel. We can
How,
give Flanagan a break.
how many lesbian couples do you think are going to be in the movie? One and a half. What do you under or over? What do you think?
Ooh. Well, he casts his wife in all of his projects. Does he do
That's a
the "Hey, I
lesbian.
want you" as a lesbian? All right, so
Mhm.
he's the opposite of Kevin Smith then. He's
Yeah.
not the "I want to have my wife hook up with somebody on camera and I'm going to shoot it and we're going to make sense of it because it's all fiction. It's a movie."
Well, it is. He's just jerking off to it differently, I guess, because he's lesbian, not, another guy.
Are
But
there these lesbian hardcore scenes in The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix and
I
Blythe
don't,
Manor and Midnight
no,
Mass?
the only one I know is from I think it's the Hill House one. Uh when my ex was living here, we would watch those, but I would just go in and out of sleep watching those. So I remember
Good choice.
bits and pieces of it. And I know that there's a specific scene at the end of the series. I think it might be the last episode or something where his wife has like a very romantic scene where she's like sitting on a chair and then the ghost of her ex lesbian wife shows up and like leaves a letter or some shit like that. I don't know.
Are they always hot? It's not like Sarah Paulson.
Oh, I think it might have been.
I,
Oh, I think it
I,
might have been her. Yeah.
I've been on a run of watching these Ryan Murphy produced TV shows. Like I just finished the JFK love story, him and Carolyn Bessette. What a nightmare that girl was. But
Yeah.
that one was all right. It was kind of poorly acted. JFK was clearly played by a gay guy trying to stifle his gay voice the whole
Mhm.
time. It was still all right. The finale episode kind of sucked because they kill them off in like the first 20 minutes, and then you're left with people just grieving. It's like, yeah, okay. I mean, I guess where else do you go with that? They died in a plane crash to Cape Cod because he couldn't fly at night, and he decided to fly at night. What do you want from him? But I also tuned into the Swans versus what is his name? Truman Capote. Yeah,
He
Truman
did that
Capote.
too?
Yeah, he did one of those.
I'm
That one's not good.
not really up on the Ryan Murphy lore.
No, me
Uh,
either.
I
Me
thought it
either.
ended with the Geen one. That's the last one that I.
Well, there's going to be the team up movie where JFK Jr. and Geen and Truman Capote meet up in hell and suck each other off.
Well, they did that almost, right? With the Ed Gein one, where you have Leatherface doing the thing in the graveyard, and
Apparently, I didn't get far enough into the Ed Gein show on Netflix, but he brought out Spielberg and Toby Hooper, and he had people playing all these famous characters. I bowed out after one or two episodes. I can't even remember most of it except what, uh, like how devastatingly stupid the
Mhm.
writing was and trying to handle the subject matter the way that they did. Oh, I also checked. This was not Ryan Murphy, but it was on Hulu, and I got a Hulu subscription now. The Pam and Tommy Lee
Oh yeah,
sex tape miniseries with Sebastian Stan and Seth Rogen. And I was actually surprised at how well that was done, but I fell
yeah,
asleep during the second episode.
yeah. I saw that. I think I saw the whole thing. Wasn't it only like 5 episodes?
It's 8 or 9 episodes, I believe, but
Okay,
it's
I didn't
short.
see the whole.
Some episodes are like 20 minutes, some episodes are 50 minutes.
I didn't see the whole thing. I did see a couple episodes. It's pretty good, but also, eh, like who cares?
Yeah, how
You know,
much
that's
of
the
that?
problem.
How much of
How
that
much can
is
you stretch
legit?
it?
Yeah, exactly. And Seth Rogen is pretty good in it, I guess. I mean, it's full of detestable real life characters playing, I guess, semi detestable real life characters in the show.
Yeah, yeah.
But I
Uh,
can't.
uh,
I see his face now, and I'm just like, I'm put off right away.
who's that?
Yeah, Seth
Well,
Rogen.
because you know what you're getting. The same thing that you've been getting for 30 years. So it gets to a point where you're just kind of like, all right, dude. It's like I don't really need this in this movie, you know? We don't do we need that in any movie anymore? Have you watched that show that was huge for
The
a year?
studio.
Yeah. Have
Yeah,
you
I
checked that
watched. I
out?
watched a little bit of the studio. It was all right. It was fine. But again, it's more Seth being Seth Rogen. And he's a goofy studio executive. He's
No.
completely ill-equipped for this role that he's
Just like
doing.
not like any executive then, because he's
No,
goofy and friendly and like like great.
making mistakes that like a production assistant would make.
Yeah.
So I'm good on that. I'm good on anything Seth Rogen. I appreciate that he wants to like try to do something different, but you don't have to fucking stick your face on it, dude. Like he didn't show up on any episode of Preacher, I don't think.
Nope, he didn't. And oh, he did do a voice on the Ninja Turtles one, which was the other thing he was producing
What
there.
did he do for Ninja Turtles?
I think it was like Bebop or Rocksteady, one
All
of
right, well,
those,
I guess that fits.
I guess. It was Norman Bates, Leatherface, and Buffalo Bill that show up on that monster show at the end in a cemetery.
Norman Bates, Buffalo
Leatherface.
Bill, and Leatherface.
I'm trying to find a video of it because I remember seeing a bit. It might have been on Twitter. And he
But
just
like
looked
they took the movie characters and had them show up in a scene together.
in like a cemetery as like oh, is this real or not?
Well, it's clearly
Ooh, you
not
know,
real.
type of thing.
Those people never
Uh,
existed. So
yep. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it on Twitter because I
please do. I'm very curious to actually see this. By the way, this has nothing to do. We're not even talking about a horror movie or a real life based on true events movie. It could have been.
well,
Frankly, there's a lot that feels whoa. That could have been if I didn't get laid when I did. Any guy could become this guy in this movie. This is the worst case scenario for so many men.
yeah, I saw your post about it. I got a bunch of traction on Twitter, and I kind of agree. I was really annoyed watching this show and how much of a loser
You know, I,
our
I, I
yeah.
kind of feel two ways about it because on one hand, I don't think that the movie is anything special. I think there's too many. By the way, we're talking about this film from 1982, The Last American Virgin, which has mostly been forgotten. But then, I remember hearing about the film in some other context a year or two ago. And then on my train ride, when I went to go visit my mom in Boston, I was like, I want something to watch on the train ride back because I got so much technical work I need to do in preparation for this big project that we're going to be shooting in just a couple of days. let me just throw on a movie. Let me throw on like a stupid movie. And that was one teen comedy from the 80s that I had never seen. I had only like vaguely heard of. The ugly kid who's the star, I only knew of from Friday the 13th Part 4 because he's watching the vintage porn off the projector when Crispin Glover goes to fuck his girlfriend for the first time. And he's actually mocking him for not having sex.
Kind of like this whole movie.
This is a guy just perpetually cucking himself. And
Yeah.
it starts out as like, I understand maybe like being nervous or something, but then it becomes like you're trying to feed your friend pussy so he won't have sex with his girlfriend who you like irrationally. But it's so in touch with how I think teenage boys or just teenagers in general think, especially before the internet, where you would just
Yeah.
project fantasies onto a girl and be like, yeah, I totally like her. Maybe she likes me. You've never spoken to her before. She has probably looked at you 3 times in
Yeah.
the last month.
She's new in town. She just showed up, and then all of a sudden you're just drooling about this girl at the, what is it, like a, it's not a bar. It's like a, like what would that even be? Like a the ice cream place that sells
Yeah, the ice cream
Coke?
parlor.
This sells Coca-Cola you can get in the 60s.
Yeah.
Well, no. What was this? Oh, fuck, I found it. Okay, hold on. I couldn't find a clip, so what I did was I went into one of those very legal websites and found the
LegalZoom.
episode.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah. So let me show you. So this is where Norman first appears in the cemetery. So Ed Gein has died, and I just know this because literally just saw him being old and just fast forwarded. So this is Norman, who appears to like a random kid on the
Got
cemetery.
it.
Then there's Buffalo Bill right there.
Yeah, unfortunately, your video
Right.
is not moving at all for me, so I can't see. Oh, here we go.
Oh no,
It's pretty choppy.
what happened?
I think you killed your own internet, Hans. I don't think his internet can handle playing a video for me. This is tragic. We'll never know what that looks like, that all star lineup of serial killers. That's all right. No, Hans, you lost
Actually,
your audio too.
am I back?
You're back.
Okay.
Okay,
All
you're
right.
good now.
Let me see.
I don't know if it's gonna work.
Well, you're frozen for me right now. Am I moving?
Nope. You're frozen.
Well, what the fuck? Okay. Well,
Oh
I'll
boy.
wait.
Yeah.
I'll wait. Let's go back to Virgin. I I've seen this before. I
You
don't know
have.
when. Yeah, I don't know when or where, but everything was very familiar. And I know that it's a very typical horny teenager 80s movie, right? Where nothing particularly special happens or anything memorable happens. So maybe I saw a different version of this, which I'm sure there's multiple in the 80s. But I remember his dumb face. And I remember that uh his friend, like his entire thing is he's fat. And the whole joke is, hey, he's fat. And that's it. Like nothing about that changes at all throughout the whole movie. So I thought that was pretty good. That was
So
pretty humorous.
I'll say too, like the fat kid that they cast in this movie is shaped in like an authentic fat kid way, not like a
Yep.
Hollywood movie prepped fat kid way. And I say that because he's unflatteringly fat around the hips. Like his love handles are pretty insane. And it's not something you often see in a feature film. Now, here's a little bit of trivia for you. This might be kind of startling here to find out. I'm pretty sure this fat kid that we're talking about here is one of the top Hollywood molesters
Oh,
of
Jesus.
children. I
Top.
believe, yeah. Don't you remember the reality show America's Next Top Hollywood Molester, Hans? He won. I'm could be wrong about this. Oh no, no, no. Sorry. I'm telling tales out of school. I apologize to Joe Rubo. That is not you. That is not who I was referring to. I got confused here. You are not a molester, as far as I'm aware. I was thinking of Brian Peck.
Yeah, that's not.
Brian Peck plays Victor. See, Brian Peck is kind of a fat guy, so I was like, oh, that must be Brian Peck. This is how rumors start and destroy lives. I so apologize here.
Wait,
Can we
Brian
pull up
Peck? Oh yeah, Brian Peck was in
can you
this.
can you pull up a picture of Victor the child? Brian Peck
Uh,
is the quiet on the set Drake Bell Hollywood molester that everyone has cited basically for Dan Schneider's crimes. Are you kidding me? That one was Brian Peck? That's crazy. The biggest nerd in the movie who has his car trashed is Brian Peck. I never would have guessed that. Now I've seen Brian Peck before as a teenager in Return of the Living Dead, where he's beefier. Actually, okay, you can kind of see it in the face here.
kind of.
Yeah.
Mm, I wouldn't have guessed that it was him, to be honest.
No, me either. So this guy is the one who did all of the very bad things on the Nickelodeon sets.
That's the top guy.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, sorry to Joe Rubo. He actually did not even really act outside of this movie. I had taken a look at his letterbox profile. He was in another film called Hot Chili in 1985, and then that was it. He's one of these guys, I think, that probably just became like an insurance salesman shortly
He,
after,
well,
sells cars.
he looks very he looks like he would be on any show that shows like an Italian mobster. Like he has that look, but I guess he didn't take advantage of his looks, where you can see him fitting, especially if you go on Google and look for his face. His older face looks perfect for like a an Italian TV show, like the low level guy from an Italian TV show.
He kind of looks like that dude from A Bronx Tale, but if he was fat, the one who shot and killed a guy in real life, the lead.
Um, what's his name? The one that makes fun of Boss, Opie and Anthony. Remember
Yes,
that?
yes, yes.
John
No,
Pantili
no, 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 no,
Pantili.
no. You're thinking
No,
of Joe Montana, who's in the movie. No, not him. Not that guy. The lead of it, the young guy who's at the center of the movie. Him, yeah, Lilo Brancato.
this guy.
Yeah, I was thinking him, but he's like cracked out, so it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
just
He's
got
the
out of
one.
prison like a decade ago for murder.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he
Should we get
killed
him?
a. I think he killed a cop.
He's Colombian.
Is he Colombian? Wow, this makes so
Apparently.
much more sense of that now.
Bogota. Yeah, we should get him. Why not?
We
Let's
could.
just get ex-cons in our movies. So Shaz, that's what I was thinking.
I would be happy
Oh,
to.
man, too.
He was
Oh yeah,
on Sopranos.
Joe Pesci has a Fu Manchu. That's pretty cool. How old
I
is Joe Pesci?
very old.
80, 83. Eesh.
83.
What is
Wow.
this?
Oh yeah, he
Wait.
did Pete Davidson's show.
Oh, whoops.
Oh hey, what are you leaking
Is
our
that
DMs? What the fuck?
this is from Pete Davidson's show?
Yeah, I think so. So
Yeah.
after he did The Irishman, he decided I'll take this Peacock deal because they're throwing me the horrible Pete Davidson sitcom Bupkis, and I think that because Peacock was still kind of new at the time and they were pushing their original programming, they had a lot of faith in Pete Davidson. They offered Pesci some crazy amount of money to do it and play his uncle or his grandpa or whatever.
And he's on the poster and everything.
Of
Let's
course,
see. Joe Pesci salary.
500,000 per episode, they say. Wait, no, that's
No,
Pete
that's
Davidson.
Pete Davidson.
Okay, if that's Pete Davidson, and I think like the most amount of money that anybody ever made on a sitcom or a TV show was Ashton Kutcher after they fired Charlie Sheen, and it was like 1 million an episode. It was probably close to that. I'd bet anything on it.
Yeah.
He
I
was
mean, it
getting
has to be,
three.
right?
Wow,
He,
three.
he was. He was back in early 90s, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
3 million per film.
And Pesci's so rare. Pesci doesn't act for shit these days. So you gotta really show up.
Yeah, I can't imagine that he was getting 500,000 per episode.
No, 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 no,
For
no.
him to just what was the last time he did? Well, I guess yeah, Irishman 4 years ago or 4 years before. What the fuck is Bob Kiss?
That's
What
what we're
is
looking at. That's the
is it
Pete
about
Davidson
his is
show.
it about his life?
It's supposed to be, yeah. It's like, well, what if we did King of Staten Island, but after King of Staten Island? And what if he's like sleeping with Kim Kardashian and he's got a crazy celebrity life, but he's just, a Staten Island Italian Puerto Rican kid with Joe Pesci and Edie Falco? Fuck Pete Davidson. He sucks even worse now without his tattoos and his mental illness.
What, he
Creep.
got his tattoos removed?
What do you think that fixes you? You sick fuck. Hate Pete Davidson. Cool. He's not up to his antics. He's not beating Larry David's daughter. He's not fucking around with Ariana Grande. I don't care. You little rat faced prick.
Do you know what Day of the Fight is?
Day of the Fight is a movie with directed by Jack Houston.
Yeah,
Okay, and it stars what's his name?
Michael Pitt
Michael
and
Pitt.
Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
about a Jewish guy, but
I think that's what this movie's about, too.
yeah,
No,
it's
I don't know.
Pesci was in this too. That's why that's like the only other thing he's done since Irishman.
It's
Day of
about a Jewish. I thought it
the
was about
Fight.
an Irish fighter. Is he Jewish? No, I've heard it's good though.
I don't know. I clicked on the images and there's a very Jewish Anatol Youssef in it. Look,
Oh, yes. Hey, Buscemi.
Buscemi's in it,
Well, that's his manager, obviously.
and Michael Pitt and Ron Perlman. I'm trying to find Pesci. Is that
That's him. That's it. That was him.
him?
No,
Really?
yeah, he's an EMT. They
Oh,
cast him as
there
an
he
EMT.
is.
Yeah, he's looking
Yeah.
real old.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 83, right?
Yeah, that's a real 83.
Yeah, not an active 83, I
Uh
guess.
huh.
Not a. Who else is that old that looks better in Hollywood?
Shatner. He's
Okay.
older. He's 95 or something, 99.
Jesus.
Shatner looks terrific. Ridley Scott.
What do
Ridley
you think
Scott's like
he's
90. Nobody
what do you
thinks of
think?
Ridley Scott as an old man because his output is so frequent.
Man, Shatner's even fat. What do you think he's eating? How many babies?
I think that
Oh,
honestly that is the trick when you're really getting up there in age. I think you got to get fat and you got to grow a beard.
oof, never mind. He's looking his age a little bit in the most recent.
Oh wow, he doesn't look
Ooh.
95. He looks about 80. He looks like Regis. He looks like
Yep.
Regis Philbin now.
Wasn't Regis like 120 when he died? He was also old as shit. But it's the
Yeah.
first time that I've seen him not full. Like I'm used to this full face Shatner,
Hmm.
and now it's like, well,
The neck is gone.
yeah, it's going.
The neck collapsed. Well, look at Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Dick Van Dyke, I think, is 100 now, and he
Oof.
looks pretty bad. He looks like Dick Van Dyke at age 100.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, you know how I said
Yeah.
before, like the beard. I don't know. Maybe he would be worse without the beard, because then you'd see everything. Mark
Yeah.
Hamill. Okay. The eyes don't lie. Those
What
eyes
is
look
this?
like ooh.
Bruise? Is he beating people up with his hands or his defensive
He could just
wounds?
no. You at that age, you hit a desk by accident, and your whole
And
hand
you
is
get
turning purple.
at that age, that's me. What do you mean? I've got my legs full of bruises. I just hit them on everything. It's just like, yeah. Virgin though, going back to
Okay, yeah.
this
So, Last
movie.
American Virgin is kind of one of these forgotten teen comedies. It's from a director named Bose Davidson, who's an Israeli director, and he made a version of this originally called Lemonade Popsicle for Israel. And I guess there's like 9 sequels to Lemonade Popsicle or Lemon Popsicle. Sorry, I might have
Oh,
that name wrong. This movie, he adapted it himself for an American audience, and I believe it's a Canon film. I think he worked with the guys from Canon. Do you remember seeing the Canon Films logo in front of this
no,
movie?
nope.
I'm pretty sure it's
Uh,
the same 2 guys, though. Even whether or not it is or it isn't, there was some
hmm.
involvement from, yeah, Yoram Globus and Menheim Golan.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. What are those names? Yoram Globus? God damn. It really like like I don't know, activates something in me that
The German. It's
yeah.
your great grandfather coming out to play.
He's like rolling. Well, his bone, whatever's left. Uh,
But that's the producing team that did all of Canon Films. They did Texas Chainsaw 2, Bloodsport, Superman 4, Cobra, personal favorite of mine, Love Streams, Masters of the Universe. Like Canon Films defined 80s action, schlock, everything across the board. Really just a tremendous output. And this was one of their, I guess, earlier producing attempts. I don't know how it performed at the box office. I do think that the movie is kind of brushed aside because it's not so wholesome. It's pretty dark. It shows
mhm.
the dark side of teenage American sexuality and what can happen to you if you wind up being like a modern day simp. We understood these things back in the 20th century, and then somewhere along the line, people forgot. The nerds took control, and culture decided, women deserve their day in the sun. These matters are not to be handled strategically. You should just be a freaking decent human being, quote unquote. David Lynch, 2019, the Horror Awards.
Yeah.
And this movie shows you otherwise. This movie shows you no, be the fucking cool guy who gets all the pussy in the world and is completely reckless and gets women pregnant, and not the dude who pays for the abortion at the end of the movie and watches them hook up afterward, heartbroken.
Not just the abortion, an engagement ring. After he kissed her,
I don't think it was an engagement ring. I think it was more of
a
a like a
promise.
uh, he, maybe I don't know. In the '80s, he thought it was his girlfriend. After that, she certainly seemed up for taking his dead grandmother's apartment for a
Yeah.
period of time to recover. They were living together, but nothing
Yeah.
explicitly
Well,
stated.
but didn't she get what's the thing that he gets? Isn't it engraved when he goes to this jewelry place and he's like, "Oh, I need it done by
He
tonight,"
got
or whatever.
he got her name engraved on, was it a necklace, a pendant? It was something
Something like
along
that.
those
Yeah.
lines. So he's getting her a gift for her birthday. And oh man, it's what it like. This movie's kind of nothing without that ending and how devastating that ending was. Here's the thing, my curiosity peaked when I remember hearing about it ages ago that this was an abortion movie, but where it's not a long film. It's what, like an hour and 40?
Not even.
No,
92 minutes.
92 minutes. Okay. We're
Yeah.
at like the 75-minute mark and there's no abortion. You're just seeing this kid strike out over and over and over. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I clearly misheard. There's no abortion in this movie. And then you get hit with it in the third act, and this like romance that's not a romance at
No.
all
No.
ignites, and it becomes like this friendship. But then he's hooking up with her because she's kind of desperate and alone. She's a dumb slut. And then I'm pregnant and the baby's got to go. And I like that this turns into a good time where he's like bailing out his retarded brother from Rikers, except, oh no, I got to raise $500 before this afternoon. And they're already aborting the baby.
Yeah.
And she wakes up and she's
Wait,
fine.
wasn't it
It
250?
was something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it
think it
was
was 250. Yeah.
but 250 with
In the
inflation, it might
in
as
the
well be
80s, yeah.
$800.
But the
Probably is.
movie made almost 6 million, 5,800,000, and the budget was apparently 5 million.
Ooh,
So it
that's
does
not good.
yeah.
That ain't good at all. No wonder why no one talks about this damn movie.
What's the George Lucas 80s teen movie?
Oh, 70s American Graffiti.
70s. Yeah, because I feel like that one and I mean maybe it's just the fact that it's so depressing. That the ending is so depressing. It's not really like it doesn't have a entertaining, funny ending. Like the friends are not like high-fiving and going after other girls at the end, which is very 80s. There's no moment of like, oh well, this doesn't matter because we're friends, like that doesn't happen here. At the end, you just have him see the girl kiss the guy that got her pregnant and left her alone. And then he just kind of drives off. Very sad. And then credits. And I was like, oh fuck. Okay, well, I guess we're just left with this to feel bad about this loser that just doesn't get it for the whole movie.
Let's break down the different cycles here. Also, you should take a look at the chat of this movie, Steve Anton today, aka the screenwriter of Burlesque from 2010 and director of Burlesque. Kind of did a role reversal here. Very
What's his name?
stunning. Steve Antin, Antin.
The Chinese lady? The fuck? How did that? What the
How did
fuck?
this happen? What happened? What happened, Steve?
Oh, went Japanese after the 80s. What the fuck? This is what he looked like before. The whitest,
Yeah.
most American graffiti looking boy.
Hmm.
And now he's a Japanese woman. What the fuck?
That's
Wh-
crazy. He pulled the
So,
Michael Cimino, late life Michael Cimino. Ah, okay.
well, okay, so he did act in a bunch of stuff after that.
Yeah, there's some acting that totally fits. He's an NYPD Blue detective. He apparently was a stuntman for certain things, and then I guess at some point, just maybe he got cancer or something. It killed all the testosterone in his body, and he turned into what we're looking at here. Yikes!
Yeah, well, I guess he got work. Good for good for him, I guess. All he had to do is just change his appearance completely.
He
So he
directed the
looks like
Pussycat Dolls music video for Sway. Cher, a lot of Cher, concerning amount of Cher. I don't think
yeah.
he was ever a puss out. I'm starting to get the vibe he's not that into it.
Yeah,
Good
I feel like
actor.
the truth was revealed after well, what else does he play there? Let's see. So you got Jump Street where he plays a guy, Stevie.
Hmm.
I'm sure that wasn't
No.
this.
His acting career and his directing career are so polar opposite. It's kind of remarkable.
Oh, okay. All right. This looks
That is
like
so
a TV
90s.
movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's Dharma and Greg the movie.
Sarah Jessica Parker playing the hot girl. Weird. See her
John,
here, the
can
seductress.
you read those names? They sound like fake names, except for Dylan
J
McDermott.
with Jean Triplehorn. Jean Triplehorn and Sarah Jessica Parker and Dylan.
No, no, no. You're forgetting the last one there. What is that?
John Plumpus. That one. What the fuck?
What the fuck is that
What
name?
the
How do
this
you not
name's
change
the
your name as an actor, John Plumpus? Ugh. Christopher Plummer's Tony Award winning run on Broadway. He was a Broadway actor,
okay. Well, that makes sense because he wouldn't get a job in Hollywood with
not
that
as
name, am I
John
right?
Plumpus. He was on
Yeah.
Seventh Heaven. We got to hire John Plumpus.
Hey, get Plumpus to play Peter Papatonis.
Uh, wow.
Damn. Yeah, that's weird to think now that the Chad from this movie turns into that.
That's crazy. That's not that crazy. It's Hollywood.
Yeah, I guess so. Diane Franklin,
I
that's another one that has like a weird career because I feel like I see her pop up in more 80s movies that I think,
Mhm.
but then
I thought
she
she was
doesn't.
the sister in Scarface. She's not. It's not the same girl. She's got the
No,
same look. That curly haired look was very popular, I guess, in the 80s.
what do you got? You got Bill and Ted, right? That's the girl from that. Oof,
Amityville Possession. We were just talking about that the
forgot
other
about
day with
that one.
a friend.
Oh yeah, that's true. What
Better
did I
Off
mention?
Dead.
Freddy's Nightmares, Terror Vision.
Yeah, there's a lot of 80s movies in here. A lot of 80s teen movies and teen centric films. But nothing that would
No.
beat this except for Bill and Ted, I guess. Bill and Ted's got the obvious clout. People love that movie. Better Off Dead, I think, does have, and Terror Vision has an audience. Okay. So to start talking about this film, we're introduced to three teenage boys trying to get laid. They meet three teenage girls, and really, when I say teenage, I mean they really look about like 30. And one is like a cute brunette, one is a kind of mid but big titted blonde, and then the third is this ugly sack of potatoes. And
They don't look 30, by the way. The boys look like
the
teenagers.
the boys look like teenagers. I'm saying the girls look like
Yeah,
adults. And
yeah.
so you have this situation where they lure them back to the hottest party in town, which is at the American Virgin's parents' home, and they're out. and they lie to them by saying they have cocaine, which is domino sugar. This is a classic trick.
Yeah.
Should write that
Wasn't it
down for future reference.
yeah, like Splenda or something?
Splenda, yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, let me see if I
And
can pull.
they mislead you because they assume, all right, well, the Chad is going to get with like the hot blonde or the cute brunette. And then this middle guy who's kind of goofy looking but skinny, he's going to surely pick the other, like the second best good looking one. No, the fat guy goes for that right off the
Yeah.
bat, kind of nails it. And then we're left with our lead character, Gary, and this girl who they, uh, I noticed they put like these fake moles all over her shoulders and shit to make her even. Now, do you think that was to make her even less appealing for real, or do you think that was to make her feel a little more comfortable with herself?
No, just less up, just gross. They didn't care about feelings in the
That's a
80s.
50-year-old woman right there. Can
Yeah,
you
this one?
that's
Yeah.
somebody's mom.
That's supposed to be 16.
Yeah,
Yeah. And she's hooking, well, she doesn't hook up with him at the
almost.
end.
I actually found it so funny that he comes back in and starts almost raping Gary's mom.
Yeah.
um, and then
Where are
like
the moles? Hold
yeah,
on.
I was trying to watch this on an
Tasty
Amtrak
chips.
train and it was so difficult. I had to fucking keep my phone to the side like this. I did not expect so much nudity right off the bat.
Yeah, there's like weird nudity here that you don't really expect. It doesn't, well, I mean, I guess you expect it because it's an 80s movie, right?
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of just very imperfect bodies, which is great to see, I think, because it just makes it more real than, just having chiseled models or whatever. And this first segment, you get fat guy on tidy whities, just trying to get laid. Well, getting laid. Oh no, no,
Yeah.
he gets laid later
He gets pussy later on. Yeah.
From the Colombian woman or Puerto Rican woman or whatever she was.
I think she was Colombian and then her beau was in Puerto Rico. Was
Oh,
Puerto
right,
Rican.
that's what it was. Yeah.
Clearly nobody knows Hispanic people who's like writing the script or,
No, because she kind of sounds different. She doesn't really sound
they like
Hispanic. She's just like a
ADR'd her
little.
voice. It's clearly
Yeah,
some
yeah, yeah.
1950s cartoon
Mhm.
voice actress.
So what ends up happening with these three boys is that our hero, our lead guy, tries to remove the ugly girl's shirt while she's chugging on chips because there's no other word for it other than I'm trying to eat so this guy doesn't touch me, but she's also allowing it to happen.
Right.
So
So
it's like,
she's one of these girls that's like, no, I'm not interested. I don't want to do that. But you know, deep down, that's not the case. They don't want to feel rejected. They do kind of want to go along with it, even if they're maybe not totally comfortable with the situation.
yeah, it's like I don't want this unless you want it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like I'll just sit here and do nothing unless someone gives me that type of attention, and I'm
Right.
100% in. And that's what happens here. And then as the actual Chad is with the other girl, and our fat friend is with the blonde, our hero's parents show up and catch him with chubby girl here in the couch. Uh, and then and then we see uh
Well,
the May.
we have the character Rick and his brunette girlfriend sprint out, and
David.
then the blonde exits, and then our fat friend here, David, is left in like a silhouette where you can see his very unshapely body and little penis
Yeah.
poking out, and the parents are getting ready for bed, and they're like, "Ah, oh, our fucking son," and
Yeah.
then the dad leaves or whatever, and he comes out thinking it's
Well,
gonna
hold
be
on.
his blonde girl.
We didn't set it up. Yeah. So the blonde girl said, "Go outside of the door," which goes to the outside somehow. He wasn't in like a closet, right? He was just
Mm-hmm.
outside. And,
There's a
and
deck, like a patio.
yeah, and take your clothes off and then come back. And I guess it's assumed that to fuck. So he's outside while everything's happening. Has no idea that his friend's parents are there, or that the girl in the bed is his friend's mom. And then when he comes out, he just gets in bed and starts trying to fuck his mom or our friend's mom here.
She starts
And
to scream, and he puts his hand over her mouth. It's just as bad as you can be. The 1980s, oh, so sexually rambunctious. Anyway,
Yeah.
then he flees. They go to the beach. You never see them at the beach, and that's kind of the end of the three girls too in the
Mm.
story. We don't really see any development from there. The
You
next
get your
time around,
you get your friend Brian Peck is in the next scene, and
Brian Peck becomes like the fourth guy in their group, but not really. He's the one they take advantage of for getting answers on tests and using his car and making him go buy hot dogs and Coca
leaving him.
Colas. Yeah,
Yeah.
the dork.
Yeah, he's looking through a peephole into the girls' locker room. And then they make fun of how little his penis is because they're like, "Oh, what do you got, a boner? But we can't see it," or something along those lines.
This okay that locker room scene felt the most like some gay guy wrote the script and was living out his
Dude,
fantasy. The penis
you mean the
measuring competition.
measuring competition when
All right,
they're
bring
like,
up. We're gonna create a line, and we're just gonna,
yeah,
see how long your penis is here.
yeah, and I'll measure it. Let me just grab my little measuring thing and I'll measure every penis. Oh, 3.5. Ha ha ha. I was like, you're still kind of touching everyone's penis. Like
Oh
this is
yeah.
not
Well,
this is
this,
not
this
a
this is something that's kind of lost on I think people today and young people today, just how gay a lot of that private stuff would the boys would be back in the late 20th century, where you would do this type of. I didn't do it, but you
no,
would because you're
no.
40. That means the 80s are your time, where you were a teenager. In my head.
No, I think the most that we did was just hitting each other in the balls when you weren't expecting it, and that was infuriating. But we never. Oh, and like poking at titties. Like if any of us had titties, like you know your titties were getting
Oh,
poked.
that was baseline.
Yeah,
There were
but
kids
like
in the neighborhood who were definitely checking out each other's or jacking off or doing whatever. There was
yeah.
one kid in the neighborhood I remember who got a girlfriend early, and by early I mean like he was like 13 or something, and he hung out with like the wrong group of friends because that became everybody's girlfriend.
Oh
If you
no.
catch my drift, pretty terrible stuff, you know.
Yeah. We had
So.
one of those too. It wasn't everyone's girlfriend, but it was like, oh, that's weird that everyone slept with
Yeah, it was
her.
always a
No one,
sleepover at one
it was
friend's
never,
place. Yeah.
it was never anyone's girlfriend. Like it was never official with anyone, but she was everyone's girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, when
Yeah.
we had two of those. I again never partook in any of that. I was too shy. I was too nervous. Man, honestly, in retrospect, I'm like, fuck, thank God. Because one was like a cockeyed girl. And she was
Oh.
like all fucked up looking, and she would let all the boys in town feel on her tits, and people would go and hang out and be like, yeah, we should go hit up. I think her name was like Amanda or something. I don't remember. She's somebody's wife I went to school with now. Don't listen to this show. So there was that one, but that was a little later on. There was like age 14 or 15. You developed a bit more, and I was just like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm gonna go home and play The Sims.
It was it was always the friend that I think might have been molested that had that.
Mm,
Because here in my neighborhood, like we've known each other, like me and my friends forever, but none of us ever even thought about like, hey, let's watch porn together. Like everyone would just be like, yeah, we're watching porn at our own home,
right.
trying to figure out how to watch it on cable or whatever, because computers weren't even a thing. And then they told me because I never slept over because he just lived across the street from me. So I was like, why the fuck would I sleep over? I can just go over to my house. But apparently at night he would put on porn while they're all sitting in the room and just cover himself with a blanket and just jerk off there next to them. And they will all just be like, ah, dude, don't do that. And I was like, what?
Ew.
Why don't you just go? Like, why are you? We all live on the same street, by the
Yeah.
way. So it's not like you're coming from far. No, you can just go home
Well, no,
instead
he's
of just sitting
coming
there.
right there in the room.
Yeah, but no, they would just sit there. And also well, right now, he's got like 3 foot long dreadlocks. And he's just been like that smelly guy that does like the weird drugs that everyone's like
Oh.
everyone has a problem with, but no one has a problem with. So like he invents these things. He has an issue with me because of something I didn't do 15 years ago, but he hates me. Like he hates me and he tells everyone that he hates me. And then they're like, why? And he's like, well, because one day he called my phone number so that he could make fun of my voice message. And I was like, yeah. But we all did that. It was all of us here listen because he was singing like a reggae song in his.
Oh,
So of course we were gonna listen to it and make fun of it. But he thought it was just me, and he was like, no, like the whole group was here, and he just got mad at me. Never told me. So for like 10, 15 years, I didn't even know that he was mad at me until one of my friends told me the other day. He was like, hey, have you seen what's his name? And I was like, no, it's been like 20 years. He's like, he fucking hates you, and I was like, why? It was like, what? It's like
wow.
I haven't even and so that guy. Later, in when he was like 16, 17, you would go over to his house. He was one of the first people in this neighborhood that had a computer. So you would go over and be like, oh, what is this new thing? Let's play games with MSN Messenger. What is this thing? And a couple of times he would have a couple of chairs on his computer, and sometimes he would be shirtless and his shirt would be on the chair. And one of my friends, I knew not to ever touch the chair just because I knew him. So I was always like, all right, I'll pick the one that doesn't have anything from you.
Right.
One day, one of my friends just came over, not knowing, not thinking, grabbed the shirt that was wet and took it and said, "Oh, why is this wet?" And my friend was like, "Oh, I just jerked off and came on it." So that type of
Oh,
guy, the type of guy that they had a TV room and Lazy Boy, and the Lazy Boy's arms, uh, the fur was hard because he would jerk off and wipe his hands on
the
it. By the
original
way,
Gooner.
that was his dad's Lazy Boy, but it was crusty because he was that much of a piece of shit. So, and I think something went off with him because he was the first one to smoke weed in the neighborhood at like 12. So like no development at all. By the time that he was like 17, he had done crack and like I don't know what else. So his brain was always like 30 seconds behind
Uh-huh.
everyone. So you were hanging out with him and then you say something and then we moved on subjects and they would just start laughing about the thing we said like 30 seconds ago and it would just be like, oh man. And I remember the first time I smoked weed, I was terrified because I was like, I'm him now. I was like, oh no, I've just become this guy. So I feel like everyone has that friend uh, that just, I don't know, got touched weirdly or like got exposed to it way too early, and then just had no qualms about just, oh yeah, I'm just coming. Hold on, his
Just
friend.
no normal human boundaries.
No,
Nothing as far as politeness or decency goes. No, there's plenty of people like that that sound not as bad as your friend there,
it's the
or
guy
your
that
enemy
shows
rather.
up. The guy that shows up and he's like, hey, smell my fingers. I just fingered that girl. That guy. He would do that.
I don't know. That seems a little fun. That seems like I could imagine plenty of people doing that sort of thing. I might have done that sort of thing, as a matter of fact. I don't know. Um, but I don't think I've ever jacked off around my friends.
So weird.
I've
Yeah.
never left, a wet
Oh,
cum soaked shirt or something
and not
out.
be horrified at the fact that your friend got it. No, it was just like, oh, go wash your hand. It was like,
Oh,
what? My friend was like, wanted to fucking either fight or cry. I remember, but he didn't either. He just went to wash. And I was like,
oh.
never, never touch anything that's here. You just come over, you sit there in the chair with your arms, close to your body so you don't touch anything if you want to be there. But yeah, that freak that hates me.
Well, now he's gonna hate you even more when he finds out that you've talked about him in English on this podcast.
Yeah, fuck him. Yeah.
Well, did you ever have a situation like the one we were talking about before with the Colombian woman who gets shared?
No, I mean, I did hook up with a girl that was like 8 years older than me in my early 20s, but that's as old as I got, I think. And that was scary because she was very adult and I wasn't at all.
Hmm.
I was like 21, 22, and I was a kid mentally. So she would want to have like real conversations, and I had no idea what to say, and I was just scared. I was just like, I can't believe a girl that's 28 wants to have sex with me. So I would just sit there like, yes, just agree on everything. And
This
after like the second time, she was like, yeah, this is not. I was
is
like, what do
not
you
working
mean?
out. You're
I
still
was
a
like, what do you
child.
mean? Yeah, yeah. I was just like, what do you mean? Are you not stimulated by my Opie and Anthony talk to jokes 22? And she was like, no, no. And then like 8 months later, she messaged me and we went to have food because I guess she wanted to see if like anything had changed. And it didn't. And it was the most
If you grew up
uncomfortable.
yet.
Yeah, no, I didn't. It was the most uncomfortable lunch I've ever had, because we had nothing to say to each other. We had burgers. It took like 45 minutes to get to a table. So it was a lot of just sitting there, not even saying anything because we had nothing to say to each other. And then afterwards, she was like, "Hey, you want to go hang out?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "What? No, I'm going home. What the fuck?"
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got your burger. It's
exactly.
over.
Exactly. So it's that's the only time I think that I've been with someone that wasn't even that much. It was like 6 years, but yeah, that was all.
I've told this before. I think on B Bang, but I had like a fling with a 38-year-old mom when I was 20 or 21, and her kid was like 10 years old, and she was like not a piece of trash
Mm.
whatsoever. Like pretty affluent, pretty powerful position in business, got me connections to like producers on major CBS shows to fund my shit. And I was such a stupid fucking little retarded 20-year-old that I blew all of that. And I took some money from her, didn't pay it back. And then that was the end of that. Still keep in touch every so often. I'll get a message like, oh, you know, you're so old now, you know, and it'll be like that sort of thing. Um, but, you know,
Yeah.
my cutoff for age 35. Sorry, you're 50 now. Get the fuck out of here. That ain't happening.
No, no, we don't want the same things,
No,
you know.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I feel
But
it.
you know, never in a situation that got like, hey, we want to come by and fuck this girl with me. No. Now, I
No.
did have a friend who's been, and Kenny will loosely say this person's name here and there, but there was always that notion of like, hey, we should go do something tonight. And this was probably when we were like 17 or 18 years old. But
What do you mean
all
do something between you two?
no. Like let's go all get in a car and hit up X or Y female and go see what happens. And
A
nothing would
group?
ever pan out. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Exactly. And usually the plan would be, hey, why don't we just drink? How about we go drink and go hang out somewhere? And then friend X would introduce the idea of why don't we hit up blank and see where it
With
goes?
the girl with the crazy eyes that makes everyone touch her tits.
Different situation, different girl. But it would never pan out because we were all like, the fuck are you talking about, man? No, that
Yeah.
ain't happening. You go do that.
I think the closest that my group of friends had to that, at least that I know of, when I was living in Canada, my friends got into the habit of going to see Costa Rican prostitutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that one of the funniest stories that I've heard from those trips that they took. I've never done that, by the way. I'm very uncomfortable in surf clubs and places like that. I hate that shit. Like, it's
Yeah, I
so
could never pay, I think, for any
no.
sort of physical exchange.
It feels very disconnected, alien, fake to me. So when I've been with my friends to strip clubs, I'm always the one that's just like, fucking. Especially because here you get seduced by the oldest, ugliest one.
Like
So
in
then you
this
just
movie.
yeah. So then you're just sitting there. I remember we went to the beach. This was like 8 years ago. We went to the beach and we were like, "Hey, that's a strip club. Why not?" It was three of us, and you had to buy two beers. No cover, but you had to drink two beers inside. The two beers were more expensive, so that's how they get you. And then we got in, and let's just say the options were pretty depressing. We were like, oh no, this is like your mom's group of friends that got together to have some coffee in the afternoon, but they're wearing clothes that are way too revealing for their age, you know? So,
Oh,
so we were drinking the beers as quickly as we could, but it wasn't quick enough to not get their attention. And then they just came over and were like, "Oh, hey, boys," and like sat on us, and I was just like,
no.
no. So I just like fucking shotgun those two beers, and I was like, "Let's go!" Like, I don't want to be here. So I wouldn't like. I just I'm too uncomfortable. I'm too awkward. I can't do that shit. But I remember that one of my friends told me that the shortest one of us, who's like 5'1", he's always been the most outwardly sexual of them all, like the horniest one of them all. Always, like he had a kid at like 18 when he lost his virginity. He got the girl pregnant,
Oh, you've
like
told
that.
me,
Like
yeah.
yeah, like that guy. And apparently, he was in a room. My friend wasn't the other guy. Was in a room fucking this prostitute, and then on the next room, the little guy was there, and all you could hear was him going, yeah, you like that, huh? The
Ugh.
other room. And my friend was like, I couldn't stay hard. I was laughing just hearing him scream that shit at a fucking prostitute. So I think that's as close as like my group of friends, I don't even want to say me, got to ever doing anything like that. But I think that that's very common in these 80s horny
Yes.
movies, right? Where
Oh,
it's just like,
it's
well, I guess we'll.
extremely common. I think, especially back then, knowing that there were these depraved older ladies who weren't getting fucked enough and would turn an eye to. I mean, you see articles every single day about school
Yeah.
teachers hooking
Hmm.
up with students, and they're always like 30 years old and not bad. They're like a 6 out of 10 usually. It's crazy. It's crazy what kind of horrible shit is happening out there in the streets.
Yeah.
Rapes.
Hmm.
But what are you laughing about? It's not something to laugh about, Hans.
Nope.
It's a rape. Well, listen, the last American virgin, you
So
could
when was the
argue it's a
last
rape.
time when was the last time you and your friends measured penises to see who had the biggest one? In
I don't
school.
know if we ever did that. I don't think we ever did it.
No.
I don't think so. I really don't think
No.
so. I can't remember. No, I
Because
don't think so.
that's also a thing with I feel like that's a thing with 90s, early 2000s sex movies, American Pie, like a very American Pie thing to do is measure your penis to see how big it is with a ruler, you know?
Yeah.
And we just well, like I always say, like here in Costa Rica, we're always like 10 years behind when it comes to culture and all those things. I don't think that ever hit here. Or if it did, I was already too old to be measuring my penis with a ruler, I guess. So I like we never did that. But I know that that's used in movies, a lot of them, as like, ha, this is the thing that young insecure guys do to see if their penis is
Well, you
big
guys
when the
use the
girl hasn't
metric
touched it.
system, right?
Yeah, to make it bigger.
That's
The 20 centimeters is like 3 inches or whatever. That doesn't sound as impressive.
yeah. You just tell a girl 20 and she could do the
Yeah.
math.
She's like, oh my God. And then you show it and you're like, yeah, well, metric, bitch.
Your story isn't dissimilar from like what happens in the movie where they're watching through the keyhole, their friends pump away into this fucking 50-year-old
Yeah.
Latina, especially the fat one, and then the husband or the beau or whatever comes home and they're chased out. It's very,
What does he say? What a nympho, I think is the line.
something like that. Yeah. So
Well,
you,
but
yeah.
then you have our friends getting laid a second time in the same way, and the joke is that they all get crabs.
Well, pause, hold on.
Okay.
Before that happens,
Yeah.
there is the interaction that occurs between our lead character, Gary, and Karen. Now, he's just given her a ride to work, if I remember right. There's not a whole lot else there. He offers her a meatball sandwich 3 times. I remember that. Because he works as a delivery man for Pink Pizza. I don't know
Yeah, it
what the hell the name
has.
of that is. That's so like ESL indulgence there from the Israeli director, maybe.
It also
Um,
has like a what is the thing that it has on top? Is it a like a pink? Hold on. Oh, it's a chef. It's a pink chef. It's like a little. Hold on, I'll show you
pink is not an appealing color for pizza.
this
The
thing.
pink pizza, I guess, like the Pink Panther, and he drives a pink Volvo.
Yeah, you have a gay chef doing the little leg
Oh
thing.
yeah, wow. All right, so maybe the director was dropping some hints here between that and the locker room. And actually, honestly, I started to think, is Gary gay? Is Gary a gay guy? Because he keeps putting himself in this situation of like trying to distract his friend. And I understand it's to appeal to Karen. Like he's trying to ward off his friend from fucking the girl he likes. But it doesn't feel that way at points. It kind of just feels like you're giving this guy so much pussy for what reason?
Well, it's in that scene, when he gets the older woman too, she comes on to him when he's by himself,
Yeah, he did
and
right.
he's
That's I think the giveaway is he didn't need to do that at all, and it really I don't think it was in his head yet that he had to like level up his friend Rick, who's the Chad of the group. So he just brings along Rick and David, the fat guy, too, because he's scared, because he's
well,
nervous.
you're missing something else too. He not only brings them to fuck this woman with him, he lets them fuck this woman before him.
Yes.
So he's like, "Oh no, you go first," and then the fat guy, "Oh, you go," and he doesn't. Weird. Weird that you're bringing your friends to fuck this woman, and you're just like, "Oh, I'll go third." Right?
That's
It's
like
a
a
little,
howling mutant tweet.
yeah, it's a little, hmm. So you're
Yeah,
just,
you don't want sloppy seconds, you want sloppy thirds.
yeah, from your friends instead of no sloppy anything.
Yeah, how about not?
Yeah,
How about you
very
don't do
weird.
that?
And he does that wearing a little handkerchief and a sleeveless t-shirt. So maybe your theory is more
I
correct
think
that
there's something in there.
maybe he wants to be the girl. Maybe he wants to have an abortion from his
Whoa.
friend.
Interesting. Whoa. AGP 1982. I don't know. I do believe that, like, it's not meaningless. I think there's gonna be something to it.
Well,
So,
because now that I think about it, even they get crabs, he's the only one that hasn't fucked,
mhm.
and he's still like,
And
no,
he
you
pukes
go.
after.
He's like, you go first, and they're like, go. They're like,
Yeah,
fucking go,
we
homo.
see your game.
And then he throws up after being inside this prostitute, which I mean could be that it stinks, or it could be, this new theory that we just introduced that maybe he just doesn't like women and he's just trying to prove to his friends by having sex in a different room where they can't see him that he is not a gay guy.
I don't know. It is this sort of like confused idea of what you want from a girl too, and I don't know. I understand like some of the mistakes that are made here are made out of fear, but even after he fucks, it doesn't really seem to change anything. He continues on his trajectory of making terrible mistakes. So they get like a, and also correct me if I'm wrong. What I said before, when he picks up Karen because she's got to get a ride to school,
Her bike is broken
her
down or
bike's
something.
broken. They have a conversation. It's kind of an awkward conversation, but it's like a polite encounter. And then she gets dropped off and she's not interested, but she does leave like a little window open that he's able to recontextualize as like, maybe I have a chance. And maybe he does
Yes.
have a chance. But she's already somewhat involved with his friend, right?
I don't think so. I don't think
Because
at that point,
when they get together at the party, it almost seems like they were seeing each other. They've been like flirting or something.
yeah, but that's never shown. That's the thing. So we go from the initial scene where he sees her and just like drools at her from afar, but she never interacts with with the friend. And then the next time we see them, yeah, they're at the party and they're very comfortable with each other. But I
Yeah.
don't think that's ever shown or established at all. It's just a thing that happened.
No, she goes and walks up to the group of guys and introduces her friend, her nerdy friend, to the lead character
The
and
blonde guy.
to Rick. So I don't know. There was something going on there that is not present in the movie until that point that we're not made aware of.
Mhm. Yeah, because they kiss. Okay, so they kiss at the party. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, nothing is established about them even knowing each other.
Hmm. And so Gary is just kind of stalking them from the party and letting his heart be broken. And he goes to the bathroom and starts downing, what is it, Jack
Jack,
Daniels?
straight Jack Daniels. Yeah, right. Like that would, like a 16-year-old would be able to take 3 shots of that and then just throw up all over the place.
Yeah. And then he drives home and nothing happens
Yeah.
after the party, after they get him out of there
Well,
when he embarrasses himself.
he goes and what with an ugly old woman, right?
Oh,
At
Fred, I didn't know you watched the movie. Fred, welcome back, Fred Figglehorn, to the podcast.
ah,
Fred, what did you think of this teen comedy? Did it inspire your trilogy of films?
well, my penis is hard. Did I make it worse?
Oh no, you fixed it. Damn.
Ah, well, uh, he's drunk at a reunion that his parents have with friends, and then he goes to hit on the ugliest woman in the group that has like the ugliest haircut
She's like
and keeps being
60.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, and keeps
58.
being like, hey, well, if you want this, why don't you come over here and I'll
We're gonna go shower together.
put her in your ass or whatever. Yeah, it's not that blatant, but it's like the ugliest woman there. Um, which is also weird. Why would you hit on the ugly woman unless you were trying to prove to everyone that you're hetero, but
Trying to
you don't
prove to
know?
yourself you're not gay. Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
I
Maybe.
think we might have cracked the code here. So,
Yeah,
fr
Gary, who starts singing at them.
yes, from that point, Gary wants to distract his friend because he knows his buddy Rick, the Chad, is trying to take Karen somewhere private. Originally, it's going to be Gary's grandma's house, but he's like, I'm not letting that fucking happen. I'll say I asked, but it ain't going to happen. And then,
That's so funny too. He's like, "Hey, I want to fuck this girl. Can I use her grandma's house? You know, the girl you're in love with. Hey, let me just fuck her in your grandma's house." Why is there a house by itself, by the way? She died, and then okay, so we could
that
just go do
mid
whatever.
20th century America, Hans, you could buy a house for $13,000, and then it's just your house, and it's just going to be empty, and you're not even going to rent it out to anybody. You just have a house in
No.
the driveway.
Now you're just a 16-year-old, a house.
Yep. That's
That's pretty
exactly
cool.
right. Grandma died in it. Nobody went back. We still own it. We pay the electric bill, $20 every month. That's it.
Yeah.
No
Hey, move in
cares.
with this girl. Who cares? She got an abortion anyways. It's not like you can fuck her.
So Rick is then uh, led to go have sex with this ugly, disgusting prostitute that Gary has picked out. And David is just lying. I guess he's got his back here. They've already talked about it. We don't see that. They're like, yeah, we've hit her up like 9 times. And so they go to some seedy basement. She's so unappealing. She's smoking a cigarette, like, well, go ahead, get it over
Yeah.
with. You know, she lets these kids fuck her, and Gary, kind of the correct reaction here, walks off and pukes from his experience losing his virginity to this wretched woman. Meanwhile, the other two, I guess, don't have a problem. They all get crabs, and they
Mhm.
have to go to the pharmacy and get something to kill the crabs.
Favorite character of the movie, by the way. That
The
guy.
guy, yeah.
The creepy, this is not what a pharmacist looks like. This is a homeless person. This is a homeless guy that just put a robe on because he just openly laughs at them for having crabs, right? He just like laughs out loud because it takes him forever to like ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought he was the best non-main character of the movie. Just little cameo, little extra character that gave like a little bit of personality into that scene that I really enjoyed. But yeah, they get well, you skipped the part too. You
Did
skipped
I?
the part where they go to
The
the
pool.
what's it called? The car cinema
The car cinema.
with the blonde girl. You know, they try to hook him up with this blonde girl that has glasses
Oh,
into
yeah, yeah, yeah.
what
So
are those
the
called?
dorky girl, the drive-in.
Drive-in car
Yes.
cinema.
Well, yeah, so they take Brian Peck, famed Hollywood molester Brian Peck's car, and say, hey, yeah, we'll do a triple date. Go get some hamburgers and hot dogs and Coca-Colas. And then they don't return it. They go and they all hook up on like a cliff somewhere, and the car
Yeah.
drives into the water, and they leave the car there. And hey, it's all forgiven by the next class, because what are
It's
you
the
going to do, you
80s.
fucking nerd?
Yeah, it's the 80s. Who cares? There's no consequences, whatever.
Exactly.
Get your car, dork.
Yeah. So then we pick up with that.
Yeah, with Bussy.
Gary leads Rick to go fuck the prostitute instead. And Karen's like, well, what the hell? And Rick is like, what? I called your house like 10 times. What are you talking about? Classic gaslighting Rick.
Yeah.
She buys it. Then in the pool, David is having a crab attack and they all jump in and it's a big celebration. But that doesn't deter Rick from his plans to deflower Karen. And
Mhm.
Gary wants nothing to do with this. He wants to prevent it from happening.
Yeah.
But Rick wisely takes her to the empty baseball diamond, right? The football field, whatever the hell it was. And you have this slow romantic unsheathing of her top and exposing her tits. And then he fucks her, and then they go and buy hamburgers where Gary's just like very moody and fucking,
Well, Gary's there looking through the bleachers, right? Just
yeah.
jerking off
Mm-hmm.
while crying, lubricating his penis with tears
Yeah.
as he just watches his friend fuck this girl. And then he's just angry and sad at the restaurant. Everyone's left, and all the tables are dramatically full of garbage, but he's still there, waiting for this whore to get back so that he can act mad and go out
Mm-hmm.
mad. And they're both like, okay, who cares? Dork.
Yeah.
Like neither of them gives a shit at all. It's just like, all right.
Yeah, like what
Yeah,
business
what's
is
your
it
problem?
yours, dude?
Exactly. What's your problem, dork?
Yeah. So from there, there's a lot of tension. Now that Rick has gotten what he's wanted, he's not as interested. They get into an argument, and it turns out when good guy Gary comes in and says, "Hey, what's the matter? Is he being mean to you? Is he talking
Yeah.
down to you?" "I'm pregnant," she says. And the whole movie explodes with this like improbable moment of like how
Yeah.
fast did you know that you were pregnant? I mean, look, morning sickness is a thing. I've heard plenty of times that a woman will know like the day after even
Mhm.
that, oh, it took root. Something's off about my body chemistry. I feel funny. Luckily, not firsthand.
But
But
how will you know that if it's the first time you have sex,
if you're a
right?
16-year-old girl, well, Rick says she's been fucked before. She's been around the block. Come on, man. That was not the first. And that's what this point of tension between Gary and Rick is. What terrible friend Gary is, by the way. Like, Rick does not know any better. Gary's not transparent with his interest in her. So it's not like Rick is being this douchebag fucking friend that's like, oh, you like that girl? Sorry, I'm going to fuck her anyway.
Hmm.
And
Well,
it,
it's kind of played like that, but it's not like that.
no, it's not like that at all.
No.
It is
He's
played like that because Gary is our surrogate, right? He's the lead, he's the protagonist, but that's not what the situation is.
no, she never shows any type of uh like appeal even. Like she talks to him and like she smiles at him a couple of times, but at no point he should be expecting that she wants all of that with him because it's never shown in the film. Even when he pays for her abortion and everything, it's still just him looking at her with puppy eyes and her just being like, "Oh, I'm sad, aren't I?" So then when that happens at the end, you're just kind of like, yes, you retard. Of course. She never gave you any hints of it. Like even when they're having breakfast in the grandma's house, she's just kind of like, well, like what am I gonna do? Be mean to you when you paid for my abortions? I'm just gonna sit here and have some butter in my toast. Like it's never like, oh my God, I love you. It's
It's a
never.
weird situation because I don't get the sense that it is nearly as platonic as it was before. She is taking advantage of him, and I
Mhm.
think she's probably this is it's kind of a realistic depiction of how some women can be with a guy where they don't even know if they're really truly romantically interested in a dude, but maybe the perks or maybe there's some comfort level in being able to talk to him, but they're not actually fully attracted.
Right.
So you have this element of, okay, well, Gary just swooped in and offered a place to stay while she gets this abortion done. That's a very kind gesture. And yeah, you have like a weird relationship with the dude, but who else is in your corner right now? His best friend that you were fucking, you were very interested in, left you high and dry and said, hey, not my problem. Get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here, you hoe. I'm going to go on a skiing trip that you're supposed to go on. You can't go on because you're a pregnant slut.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about
So you got Gary in there being like, I'll take care of you. I'm ready to be the man who steps up for you. And he arranges everything, puts her in there. And it is like it turns into a romantic thing somewhat. It's not very believable in a true sense. It really feels like a marriage of convenience. And then she gets it done. It's party time. It's her birthday the next week. And then cue the heartbreaking moment for Gary where he shows up to the party after going over to like a jeweler and buying a piece of like a necklace or something to have engraved with her name on it. He walks in to the party and finds the woman whose abortion he paid for, who he nursed back to health, hooking up with his best friend, Rick, in the kitchen. And he's just left there broken. And she looks at him and is like, oh no, Gary. But then rests her head on
Yeah.
Rick. Fucking cold. Oh, brutal. Brutal. Remarkable in how piercing. But it's also like
Good.
women can be that way. Women absolutely can be that way. And tons and tons and tons of men can and are Gary.
Yep.
And I think this movie shows that so well, like what the worst versions of ourselves can be if we just feed into our fantasies that are not like grounded.
Hmm.
And it can go real bad.
I like that though. I think this movie couldn't have ended in any other way. Like if there was a happy ending there where she's all of a sudden like where when what's the friend Rick?
Rick.
When Rick comes over to her and she's like, "No, I'm with Gary now," and they're happy. Like I don't think that would fit the rest
No,
of the
and
movie
this movie would be forgotten if you don't have that
more. Yeah.
ending. It's yeah. I mean, there's clearly some weird faction that is interested in this movie since I did not expect my X post to take off where I was commenting on it. This movie of all movies, it was very strange. So I'm glad that there are people aware of it. It is this red pill movie, but I don't even think it's just exclusively red pill. It's like I don't know. It's not bleak. It's just a firing shot. It's a warning shot to every young man out there. Like, do not let yourself succumb to this. Even fucking the prostitute didn't fix him,
Hmm.
which you just got to go find a girl who wants it. You know, you can't buy that sort of psychological level as a young adult man. You gotta earn it. You gotta fight your way through it and then understand the nature of human beings from that and how to behave and how to act. Our dear friend Kenny is going through something similar right now, where he has just been kicked to the curb by his beloved nurse. Maybe by the
Yeah.
time this episode comes out, they'll be back together again. But I told him, I was like, so here's what you do now. What are you staying with your baby mama again? Yeah. All right.
Oh.
So then go get your microphone, go get your laptop from the nurse, and flaunt that you're back with your baby mama. And talk about, you know what, you were right. It was actually kind of smart for me to come back here. Maybe we were moving too quick. And honestly, I think we might even try to work things out for the kids. Rub her fucking nose in it. And then you will see the nurse become interested again and say, "Hey, you want it? You know, I got you a computer and a microphone. How about I design a whole production studio for you? Do you need a car? I can get you a car." You're gonna see that happen, but he won't do that.
He got too comfortable.
Yeah,
He got too comfortable. He got cocky, and he's like, "You can't. If
no.
you're in that situation, you can't get
I told
cocky and
him.
comfortable."
I told him the week after she offered him to move in. I said, "Now here's what you do. If you and I could tell Kenny has real feelings for that girl. He's already like picturing his future in his head. He's like, I think so many good things about her, bro. It's like, yeah, that's how a relationship is supposed to be. It's like somebody who makes your life easier, not fucking more difficult.
Yep.
Um, I was like, dude, here's what you do. Tell her you want her to be your girlfriend, flat out, official, no gray area. Past guy is in the background, no more questions. Bro, I don't even have to do that, bro. Oh, really? Oh, what are you now? Where are you now? Sorry, Kenny. You fucked that up. Stupid,
Yeah.
you know. But that's life. These are, it's kind of crazy. You can be pushing 40 and still running into the same problems as a teenage boy from
It,
1982.
it's kind of crazy how people will give you advice for decades and you will never follow any of it. And it never works out, but you still don't. You still never listen to advice when it's given to you. You're just like, no, I know better. Even though for what we've seen, maybe that's not the case. Maybe at some point he'll listen.
I don't think so.
No,
I
well,
think he's just going to continue to hit the wall over and over and over and over and not learn. And there's a lot of people that are like that. I think, once you're basically past 30, you got to drop those expectations for any sort of growth. If it happens, cool. And I hope
yeah.
it does, but I certainly don't expect that.
Well, it's also the thing of like if a serious thing that has happened, which there's been multiple, hasn't taught you that, then what is it gonna take, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, a lot of people still have not figured out that you can't exactly be totally open-hearted and generous when it comes to women because you'll get smashed for it. And if you play it stupid too, on top of that, you don't make the moves that they want you to make that are smart for you and ultimately beneficial for all involved, then what do you expect to happen? It's just
Especially
a matter of
when
time.
especially when you're not bringing that much to the table.
Well,
No
that
offense,
I
but
don't want to tell tales out of school, but that obviously played a part. That did play a part in
yeah.
things. So, but that's Kenny, and we'll have Kenny back on the show whenever, I guess. I don't know.
he'll pick another fight with me on Discord for whatever
What was that about? What
reason.
happened here, Hans? Because you told me about it, and then I went back, and then it looked like some messages were deleted. Oh, wait a minute.
What happened? Is that Kenny?
What's
Oh,
up?
Hello?
Hello. Hey, hi. You're on a podcast right now, Kenny.
Am I
You
really?
were literally just talking about you.
Oh God.
you don't want to get paid for
Oh,
this?
what are you guys saying?
Well, Hans was telling me you were picking a fight with him in the Discord.
No, I wasn't. I enjoy Hans's insight. I'm trying to join his clan. I'm in this cult.
What? Cool. I don't want
Hans
people
is
in a cult.
confused. He doesn't know what you're talking
I
about a
don't want
cult.
anyone in a cult. I want to be
Hans
left
has the
alone.
Brotherhood of Never Hair, and I have joined it, or I'm trying to be an initiate. And he's like, he's not even saying anything. And then I came back with this like witty ass quip about something, and he's like, "Oh, it didn't hit the mark," but like he got the joke. So it's like, all right, that I win. But
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
I get it. I read it, I reread it, and like I was like, damn, he's right. Fuck you, Hans. I wasn't mad about it. Like it was like, all right, whatever.
All right.
Hans is more like that builder nigga. Like unless you really piss him off like that, which I try not to do, then like, fuck,
Okay.
you're set.
What's going on? Can you say on the podcast or no?
Right now, I mean, I got time to kill. Do I have to do anything special? Is it only phone? Because
Why you
I'm
call?
walking to the liquor
I'm
store.
I'm just curious what you called for.
Oh, I think you know what I called for.
Okay.
Like you know what I called cause I'm just like, okay, this is cool, but like I'm just like, is it like what's up with what does he look like? Like,
Yeah. Hey, well, we'll talk about this off mic.
okay, but I'll talk on the podcast. Is this the book club podcast?
Not yet.
Oh, what is this
We're
then?
talking about the Last American Virgin from 1982.
Just wants
The
attention.
Last American Virgin.
He's just lonely. He just doesn't want
Sounds
to
like
doesn't want
one
to
of
deal
those
with,
weirdo
you know.
cult movies you guys be watching.
There's no cult, Kenny. There's no cults happening here.
Yeah, the last two I watched that I got paid for, yeah, cult
Okay, no,
followings.
no, that's the Melancholy Durango is different. But listen, you got a podcast with Michael Lewis Hassepin, don't you?
With who?
Oh, now you don't know who MLH is.
Oh, I didn't know his full last name. I just know him as that. But like, yeah, no. And I asked you for that site so I could
Did you talk to him?
yeah. I've been talking to him. I asked him if he could send me a link, and he's all like, "Yeah, no," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I hit you up. I was gonna let him know by like tonight, though. I'm
Okay.
gonna be a dick about it,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
like I
after
gotta
you
watch
build
the
on the
movie
last two.
first.
Yeah.
So like that's the whole thing, and I'm just like, if I can't get a link, bro, like I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not trying to look like an
And then you
idiot.
can't do the episode if you can't
Exactly.
watch the movie.
He just
Not
wants
to
to link
mention,
hours
like,
before.
Yeah.
I'm not even like mad about it. Like I don't mind the exposure. I'm like, damn. Like I got a little bougie with those paid episodes. I'm like, oh, a free movie review. Oh, I'm playing.
Well, here's what you need to do. You need to promote patreon.com/LowRes, the Kenny tier for $151. You can get Kenny on an episode of your choosing. You pick the movie.
Somebody I know has content, but that's a conversation for later on.
That
And
when
like,
you say content, you mean like adult content, don't you?
are we being recorded?
Yes, I told you this is a
Yes.
podcast, Kenny.
Yeah, no, we don't do that type of stuff over here. It's
Okay.
more like cosplay stuff. Like
Okay. All right. You tell me about it over text. We'll settle it later. All right.
yo, that sounded even worse. Yo, I am just striking out today. I'm gonna shut up. But yeah, no, I'm still reading that book,
What book?
Zeroville.
Oh,
What happened?
Kenny, you missed the book club. That was yesterday.
No, I didn't. I hopped on before you got on, and
I
then I
I
hopped
didn't
off before you.
I didn't go in
Uh,
there. I wasn't in there.
I was in there. I talked to everybody for like a couple bit, and then what's his name sent me a link to listen to the book.
Okay.
So I'm gonna listen to the book and then give an honest opinion on
I would love to
The,
hear it, Kenny. You know, this is actually a great plug because in the LowRes Wonder Bread Discord, we do have now a book club that Taz Fink, one of our members, hosted just yesterday, March 29th. You're good, on Zeroville. And I guess it was a roaring success if you popped in there for a few and talked to everybody.
I was generally curious because, like, you said something about it, like, oh, look, book club. Maybe I should read this book, and then I can hop in and look, like, bam, and then like it already happened. I was like, damn, that was quick. Let me see what they're talking about. I thought I'd be able to like disguise myself or make myself hidden and just listen in.
No, there's no disguising you. You are not discreet or subtle at all, Kenny. I'm afraid to tell you.
I'm so
Hey
sorry about
everyone,
that.
it's
I
not
was like,
Kenny.
but,
Why don't you should
yeah,
change your profile picture to Hans next time?
I thought it was Hans. Tell Hans to put a mustache on, like a thick one, like a thick Spanish guy mustache,
Why?
What
For
do
what?
for what purpose?
so that I can get a thick Spanish guy mustache too, and then I can shave the rest of my beard.
You just
And
are you just trying to like emulate Hans's visual appearance or something?
that would help. It's like what Eminem did at
Help
the
with what?
MTV Music Awards.
Help with what? I'm most
Still,
unsuccessful person
still
here. What are you
balding
talking
Hans, bro.
about? What are you?
what do
So first
you
you're bald. What are you gonna get? A big penis next, Kenny? Oh, he can't hear me. I forgot he can't hear me. He's laughing. He can't hear me.
Like
He's
it's not
laughing.
even like nah, bro. It's not even that serious. Like I think about Hans like once a week. Like that's it.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's weird.
Hans on your
I
mind.
gotta be
That's
even more
interesting.
than that.
Well,
You
yeah.
should, you should
And
probably
then
just.
like I have to think,
I
let me hit
don't want to know
LowRes up,
this.
see what he's
I don't
doing.
want to.
So
Hans is concerned that it might not be good thoughts you're thinking.
about him,
Yeah.
oh no, he'd be all right, bro. If anything, well, he's older, so it doesn't help. I kind of wish he was like younger, and then he could be that little foreign kid like Fez from that.
I can
Okay.
still be that, but old, I guess.
So he could corrupt him, but he'd still be like Rico Suave or some shit like that.
That's a very
That's not
different character,
Fez.
Kenny.
Yeah.
What do you mean? No,
Fez
that's
and Rico
Fez.
Suave are very different.
Did you not see Fez when he got older and he was trying to match
Yeah.
up with
Okay. All right.
C-Dub?
Listen, this is turning into a Beat Bang episode now. You've completely derailed this. I've had your speaker
Don't
on.
blame me. That's
He's
not
not
my
blaming you.
fault. You kept me on,
All right.
bro.
All right. Well, you got to go for now. So just text me
Whatever.
contents.
I'll be back in 20 minutes.
All right. Bye
All
bye.
right, whatever. Peace.
Wow. Impeccable timing. He must have sensed himself being discussed.
Yeah. It's just lonely. He just doesn't want to deal with.
I think, well, now he's got nobody else to talk to, right? So I was actually kind of mean to Kenny the other night. I was like, I gave him a list of demands and then told him to be a man, grow up. And I kind of felt bad,
Oh,
like
isn't
right
isn't
afterward.
Kenny older than you?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Just it's fine. Sometimes you need to be, honest with your friends. You have
Because
to
it
be
was the
like,
night that, you messaged me and he was like, oh, he's asking about what he should charge you. And I was like,
yeah.
how about this? How about you take the fucking role I'm offering you for the money that I'm offering you for? You take your 50-cent ticket off of me and I don't charge you fucking $100 for that. And you shut up and you do this and you
Well,
be
that
a
was the
man.
thing. Like the whole thing started with me was because he went into the Discord, which he's done multiple times now, just to ask questions,
Mm.
And his question was like, "How can I figure out what my worth in film is?" or something like that. And I said, "Why don't you start with zero?"
Yeah.
And then I felt bad, like just like you.
Yeah.
Like 30 seconds later, I felt bad, and I was like, "Ah, why am I coming on like doing like saying this to Kenny?" So I just deleted it, and then he read it still. So that's why he was like, "Well, maybe you get paid with a stray cat or something." And I was like, "Okay,
All right. He tried.
yeah, yeah." That's what I said. Oh, you tried. I was like, "That's a attempt at a joke. I commend you, but all right."
Yeah. I don't know. These people
Uh,
need shaping up, I think. I think they need a little tough love here and there, Kenny especially, for
well, we
blowing a
have a
good thing.
couple of examples of that, I think.
Yeah, well, Kenny's an interesting situation because I don't think the book is written on Kenny. It could easily fall apart at any moment, and you can be one of these characters that just like winds up living in the woods. But that
Mm.
hasn't been Kenny. That's a few people we know. That's not
Yeah.
Kenny. Kenny's able to actually charm people, women, and like use that to his advantage, whether he intends to or not. Maybe it's a little bit of both. So I don't
And
know. But
then he doesn't, and then he fucks it up.
well, yeah, that's the
He
classic
gets
story. Is he
cocky.
gets in there,
He
he
gets
gets
very cocky.
comfortable too
Yep.
fast,
Hmm.
fucks it up, and then it's back to square one. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. But Last American Virgin,
Hmm.
it's a pretty good movie.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
short,
it is
short and
short.
sweet.
If I have a complaint about it, it's too many needle drops. Every single scene is a new needle drop of 80s music. We don't really need that. It kind of shows insecurity, I think, on behalf of the director. Or it's like you don't trust your young cast, I guess, to carry a scene, and maybe they wouldn't. Like the acting is kind of wishy-washy, but it's
Yeah.
fine. We accept that for an 80s teen rom-com. So I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Interesting relic for sure.
It's an interesting type of movie that would never get done today, too.
Fuck no, no, they would never make this movie. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me? They would turn it into 500 Days of Summer. And
Mm,
actually, not even it would. They
no.
would use the discourse around 500 Days of Summer to retroactively. I mean, look, he's not. I think actually it's more clear cut in this case that Gary is a delusional guy. 500 Days of Summer is like, oh man, you have this really nice relationship with Zoe Deschanel. And then everyone outside of the movie, like the screenwriter or fucking director or whoever, is telling you you're an asshole for sympathizing with him because she just wants to be a fucking hoe.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
never said she wanted to date. She just acted like she wanted to date, you idiot.
Wasn't Garden State also something like that?
Garden State was the origin of the manic pixie dream girl discussion where
Hmm.
they're like, Natalie Portman's a quirked up
Yeah.
cute Jew, and that's bad because you're projecting your fantasies onto her, and that doesn't actually exist. We're all miserable hags. You need to accept us for what we are. And
Yeah.
it's
And
like,
then Scott Pilgrim came out, and then all of a sudden you get thousands of
then you
those.
get the dyed hair rendition of
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, all right.
But this
Eh,
was fictional. What happened? How did you
Yeah.
all spawn to life? The
What
fuck?
nonsense, manic pixie dream girl. There are certainly girls that lean into that
Hmm.
sort of archetype. And we probably know some from films,
Oh yeah.
but you know, it's a choice. It's a choice to depict yourself as that. And guys do see that and they mishandle that. Now it's like a red flag, I would
Well,
say. Now
I think
people
that
are very cautious of that.
the saddest example of that is the manic pixie girl that aged out of being a manic pixie girl, but still acts like a manic pixie girl. So they just have an unstable older woman
Oh,
who still has like all the tattoos and the same hair and everything. Where you just
they
kind
get a
of like,
sailor anchor on their arm.
yeah, you just kind of like, ah, you're still doing that? Oh, you
Mm-mm.
never. Okay. Well, now you kind of smell. And you wear those hippie clothes, and
Yeah.
you're more spiritual now. Mm, it's less lonely.
All
But
right.
yeah.
Well, we can wrap up the show on that note. That has been our discussion on Last American Virgin. We're going to be taking a little break if you're over on Patreon and are watching the show in real time as we upload them. If you're listening on Spotify, then you already heard Michael Lewis has been talking about the Waterboy and Dragnet, and we're back. Hey, we're back. We're back to movies. So that has been movies for this week. Thank you for listening.